So pretty much guys, in this video I'm going to actually show you how to boot the Windows 7 from your USB drive. This is step 2. Basically I had my old device which I bought, Windows Media Center PC, back in 2009. It was running Windows Vista. As you can see, the sticker is still there. I had this Intel Vive, uh, processor was Core 2 Duo E6420, if you want to know how it was running. However, it just worked for, it just worked for just 3 years. In 2011, I updated the motherboard to i5 2400. Now it's running 12 gigabytes of RAM. Then in 2020 March, it stopped working. Basically, SMPS and the hard drive just went bad. So I was just thinking to do a budget build, and then it took so much time because I've got other devices. So I just wanted to just make this run. So let's start off with the power, and I'm going to show you how to go to the BIOS settings. So the next thing would be BIOS setting. Just be prepared. So make sure which key takes you to the BIOS settings. Don't try to start off and then you forget, because first we need to go to BIOS settings, and then we need to make sure that this pen drive is booting the image of Windows 7. So that's how we go about. So next thing is to switch on, and then I'm going to show the screen what's going to happen. So pretty much, guys, my screen is over there. So I'm going to power on the device now, and then I'm going to figure out the key for the BIOS setting. On my device, it's an Intel motherboard, so the BIOS setting is F2. I'm gonna long press on F2 till it loads BIOS settings. Just wait for it. So there's my BIOS setting. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to boot right here. You're gonna use the keyboard for this entire thing. Go to boot, and you need to click on advanced here. Each BIOS is, it's different, but however, all of them have almost the standard setup. So I'm gonna actually select the device which needs to boot the OS. So that would be SanDisk right here. I've got the DVD writer, and then the hard drive here, the WDC, the hard drive. So I'm gonna click on SanDisk and click on enter, then click on escape, save this. Y actually saves it, then it's gonna restart pretty much. So once it restarts, okay, it's gonna show up like that. Windows is loading files. As you can see, then it's gonna show this one, starting Windows. So I just give a restart, guys. It's gonna again start with the BIOS now, pretty much, and it's gonna remember the boot. So it's gonna be SanDisk this time. So it's gonna show Windows is loading files right there, and then it's going to start off with the Windows logo. Once it does that, right there, like that. So it's going to start off like this. Once it does that, you can see it's going to load the OS setting right now in this screen. And now pretty much you're gonna have this one showing up. This is the sort of like the last part. Once you do this, you're gonna restart, and it's gonna start off with your username. However, you set it up according to your region, language to install, time, currency, keyboard. I'm just gonna go with next here, and then it says install now. Setup is starting. So I already have a hard drive which is running Windows. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to do an extra step where I'll be clearing off my hard drive, basically like when you come to this, which type of install do you want, we go to custom, advanced. Then I made these partitions, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just delete them all, one by one, because I want to do a fresh load. So I'm going to just format first, okay, delete, okay, same thing for the others, format. Well, this is unallocated space, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to start off with this format. So okay, I don't know what's happening with that, so I'm going to delete whichever starts off the way it has to. Okay, so the last one is just blank, so I'm going to keep it one drive. I don't want to actually partition it. I'm just going to keep it one drive. I'm going to select that. It's a 1 terabyte unit, so we use 931.5 gigabyte. So if you want to make the partitions, you can make partitions here and apply it. You're going to get the option of partitioning here. However, this time I don't want to partition it. I want it to be one drive. So I'm just going to click on next, and it's going to start off. So basically, it's going to copy files really quickly to the hard drive. And once it does this, the next thing is very simple. You just pull out your USB from your device. So if you see, let me show you really quickly. So when I actually look at my USB, it's right here. So I'm going to actually pull it off once I get to completing installation. Let me show you. As you can see, it's actually expanding the Windows files and installing features. So it's going to take a while. It's going to go 100. Once it comes to the almost like installing updates, you can pull out the pen drive. Until then, let the pen drive stay. So pretty much it's a 90%, as you can see, expanding Windows file. Once it reaches 100, it's going to start with installing features. This entirely depends on the kind of hard drive you have. I bought a used hard drive, which was a 1 terabyte unit, Western Digital. And if you have an SSD, it's going to be really, really fast. So now, since it's saying installing features, I'm going to pull off my USB. So I'm just showing it to you. I just pulled it off, as you can see. Let me quickly show you that. There it is. So back to the screen. So installing updates. Now it's going to restart basically. There it is. So it's restarting again. So now what's going to happen is it's going to go to the next bootable, hardware. That's going to be the, hard drive here, because we pulled off the first one, which was actually the USB SanDisk for the BIOS, for the OS, pardon me. So it's going to start with starting Windows again on this. So it's going to show up that animation. Still showing starting Windows. Then it's going to say setup is updating registry settings. That means you have actually reached the part of setting up the device, and from here you need to just sort of like add your username and password and the product key, and that's how it goes about. So it's going to start off with setup is starting services. So now what happens is sort of like it goes into this issue because you're using a different hard drive and stuff. It's not going to actually complete the installation. So what you need to do is you need to click on Shift F10 on your keyboard. Okay, go to your command prompt, and then And once you go to the command prompt, you need to click on regedit. So it's regedit. And this goes to the registry of the device. So we go to HKey local machine right there. Okay. And the next thing is you click on system. Pardon me. One moment. So basically, guys, what's going to happen is since we are trying to change the registry here, what happens is, because we are using a different hard drive, there are a lot of issues. So what we do is we give another restart for the device. So I just had to hold down to the power button, long press, and then I'm going to start off again. So we are back at starting Windows here. So again, this time it's going to start with setup is starting services, and you're going to get this. This is the issue which happens. So once you get this, just click on Shift F10 on your keyboard. You're going to get into the command prompt here. The code is regedit, regedit, enter. It's going to open up the registry. So we're going to go to HKey local machine. Okay, and the next thing is system. Then we're going to go to setup. Once you go into setup, we're going to have status. Then we get child completion. So under child completion, we go to setup.exe, modify it. The value is going to be 1. You see that? I'm going to make it 3. Click on OK. Close. Close. And just click on OK over here. It's going to restart with the right setup for the Windows to install. So pretty much it's starting Windows, guys, at this point. And we're going to get to the next part of naming the PC, stuff like that, which is quite standard. We go ahead with that. But before we do that, we need to actually add the product key for the Windows to get activated. So basically how the activation works is Windows, basically when we download it from the site, we actually add the product key. So that detail is going to be is going to be copied onto the hard drive here, and we're just sort of confirming the same product key in order to activate it. That's how it works, the activation right here. So we have the activation key. So this is how it's going to start off with. Setup is checking things. So there it is. We can name the PC as PC. I'm just going to name it as PC, and then I'm going to click on next. The moment you click on next, it's going to ask you for a password. Maybe put up a easy password. It needs to be easy to remember. That's pretty much it. Passwords help sometimes. I'm going to just give a clue for it twice, and next. There it is, product key. So basically put in the 15-digit product key. I'm just going to start off with mine. I'm not going to show you the full product key, however. W6RKK. So once I added my product key, guys, it's just going to show up with this. So I'm going to use recommended settings, and then I'm going to select my place, India, and then click next. That's pretty much it. So it just finalizes, and it's just gonna start off Windows 7. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Give a big thumbs up if you did like the video, and do subscribe. I took the full time for this because I just wanted to show you everything. So there it is, guys. That's the final product. I mean, I know it took long, but it does take so much time to get this thing up and running. There you have it. Thank you for watching.